Welcome to Spotlight New England. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling. And Audrey, we have now entered, I hate to say it,
What?
that portion of the summer. It's dwindling.
It is dwindling, and I
mean,
hate it.
there is time left, but you know, obviously, because of all of your kids, that like back to school is imminent.
It's upon us.
So now it's time to like start doing all those things you said you were going to do all summer long, and then you never did.
You never do it, but you have a little time.
But this is a place that I always like to get, and it doesn't just have to be in the summer, but it is by the water, so I think a lot of people do think of it as a summertime destination.
Yes.
But I have been for a long time talking about it. Peyton-Aram. Yes, it is pronounced Peyton-Aram. We'll talk about that more after. And I was so excited to go for a little day trip for the show. So here is my trip to Peyton-Aram.
It's in South Dartmouth, Massachusetts, and it is right on Buzzards Bay. So this village is just packed away. It's right on the water. There's a little bit of everything for everyone, whether you're looking to walk around and wander the shops, grab a bite to eat, rent a boat, and go explore Buzzards Bay. There really is something for everyone.
Fabulous shopping, fine dining, and quintessential coastal charm. This village has it in spades.
Regardless of your age or what you're looking to do here, we have 5 eateries, which is amazing. We also have a local candy store as of recently, and we also have the private New Bedford Yacht Club, which has its own private dining. So in addition to that, we have Sail Loft, we have Scuttlebutt, we have Dockside Ice Cream, which was everyone's favorite. And then we have Little Moss as well, and then Farm and Coast Market, which is really the heart of the village at the end of the day. They just did a massive renovation, adding to their market and their ready-to-go prepared foods and their cafe. So now you can actually be there for longer periods of time all day long. We have right around 13 shops. So whether you're looking for fashion, which we have it all. We have women's, men's, and children's. We also have home and gift shops. We have accessory shops. We have 3 art galleries. There's a knit shop, and as of recently, there's a needlepoint shop. So there really truly is something for everyone in regards to what you could possibly be looking for.
In Peyton-Aram, everything is about community.
This was a town that was built on boat building. And to this day, we have active marinas all around us. We have Concordia, Davison Trip, South Wharf, Marshall Marine. We also have Naughty Jane's, that is where you can rent a boat, a kayak, or a paddleboard and go explore the Buzzards Bay around us. This harbor is amazing. There's so much activity. There's so many people coming and going. There are generations of locals who believe in the preservation and the restoration of this village and have a deep love of it, as do we. And that's why our business is successful. We're so happy here. Every year there's something that changes about the village, and it's just a phenomenal spot to be.
And if you think all the fun happens in the summertime, well, think again.
There's amazing activations and activities all year long. The Peyton-Aram Festival just happened at the end of July, which is an amazing day where Elm Street shuts down, businesses have their doors open, they have activities, a whole bunch of street vendors come, and they're all selling their beautiful products. And then there's also a kids zone, which is a place where the kids can sell their creations and really feel creative, and that's so special. And it's just a really great day full of fun and community bonding. We also have sip-in shops throughout the season. There's one scheduled for October 17th, so it's for any participating shop, but right now that is scheduled. And then the best night of the year is actually in the winter. It's the holiday kickoff, the holiday stroll. So the harbor might be empty then. There's a significant chill in the air. Less people are on the street, but every one of these buildings are adorned with white lights. And the first Friday of every December, we have a holiday stroll. The businesses are open, there's activities and activations, and then the buoy tree is lit that night, which is very special. And the buoy tree, this is the 5th year, and anyone can purchase a buoy and decorate it, and then it gets adorned on the tree. And at the end of the holidays, 50 of the best are raffled off, and a portion of the proceeds are donated to a local charity. So we really do try as a community to give back and to put money back into the community as well.
You may end up loving this little village so much you won't want to leave.
There's actually 4 real estate brokerages right in the heart of town and a mortgage company. So whether you're looking to buy, rent, sell in this area, any of your real estate dreams can literally come true right on Elm Street. And then we also have 2 spas and a hair salon. So when I say it's a one-stop shop, it really is. Come for the day, come for the night, rent a boat, go explore. You'll really enjoy coming to Paid Aram Village.
You're not going to want to leave.
You're not going to want to leave. I didn't, and I won't. It's my happy place.
I love that.
Literally the cutest place. You have to go. And like I said, great in the summertime, of course. But as you just saw, like
I mean, that
around
Christmas
the
time.
holidays,
Right.
it's so good. It's so good. So if you don't get to it now.
And I love that Ashley got a shirt too that actually said how to pronounce
Right,
Paid
because
Aram.
nobody can ever say it. It looks like Padanaram.
Yes,
so,
it does.
Like, right, but it's Paid Aram.
So there you go.
I know I know everything.
There
I am
we go.
like,
I love it.
I'm trying to be a local very hard.
Very cool.
Much more ahead still today on Spotlight New England, so stick with us.
Welcome back to Spotlight New England. Our next guest is someone that I know very well, actually very up close and personal. It happens to be my sister-in-law, Nicole Couto, who is, we're here to talk to you obviously about the incredible business that you've been able to build. But as we know, you came in this morning, we're kind of talking about how you have been an entrepreneur for years and years and years. And we love when we have business owners in here because they tell the truth and how it is to build a business and what it's like to create something from like an idea and watch it grow. So we're excited to have you here with us, Nicole.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Love, love, love you to pieces, as Ashley knows.
Yeah, no, we're so excited to have you. And I've gotten to know
you.
you a little bit,
Yeah.
not my sister-in-law, but over the years. And it's always just so fun to talk to you.
Thank you.
Now, I hit the jackpot with you as a sister-in-law, but I will say I've always admired you from, just like your business, really like not only you're smart, but like your determination. And I always joke, you guys laugh at me. I always say chit chat. I
Yes.
feel like Nicole, you were the ultimate. You were the first person that I think I'd ever heard say chit chat.
Really?
Yes. And I always, because they kind of always make fun of me. I'm like,
Well,
chit chat.
Brendan picked up on the fact that she says chit chat a lot. The word
You say
chit
it
chat.
too a lot, Nicole.
I
And
text
so-
it, I say it.
Now every time Audrey says it, Brendan just kind of looks at all of us like she said chit chat, and now it's like a running joke between all of us. But I mean, it
But I
fills the
feel like-
void.
I
That's
feel
so
like
funny.
I got it from you, and I will say this, Nicole, and Ashley, this is something that you don't know about Nicole, and we'll get into your business 2021 Co. But you are a master at sales. You just are. You're great at connecting with people. You're great at building relationships. And when we joke about chit-chatting, it's something that I feel like I learned from you as a teenager growing up because you were able to connect with people immediately and make them feel not only like comfortable, but like heard. Like you really listen to people.
Thank you.
And I feel like that's like your superpower when it comes to business. Where did you learn that?
It's funny. Thank you, first of all, for saying that. I was thinking about this morning, actually, and I was trying to think about, like, what I do for work with paper also sort of like coexists with my personal personality. And when I was a kid, I'm one of 7, my brothers used to call me Nikki the Nose because they said I was so nosy. I was super curious about people. I would always want to know, their stories or little tidbits of information that maybe other people wouldn't be curious about.
Yeah.
And I would say even yesterday, this is funny, my husband and I went to BJ's Wholesale and the line was so long to check out. Not to check out, but to leave the building. And I couldn't understand why. And when I got up there, I realized that it was the checker to make sure that everything was in your cart. And I asked the woman, I said, how often do you actually find a mistake? How often do you find out that either someone didn't scan the right thing or they were overscanned? She said, see that book over there? It's filled with those. And she goes, and the reason we check them is because a lot of our cashiers might overcharge or undercharge. It's not like we're trying to catch someone stealing. But when we were walking out, my husband was like, you're probably the only person who would have asked that question.
Right.
But I was curious, and I think that sort of part of my brain and the way that I think has helped me in sales. I genuinely am curious about other people, sort of what makes them happy or what are their goals in life, what do they hope to achieve, and if I could be a small piece of that, that's what fills me. That's what makes me really happy.
Yeah.
I will add that when I was in 8th grade, my brother gave me a book, and I actually reread it recently, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend because it's very dated in a lot of ways. There's a little misogyny in there, but it was a book by Zig Ziglar called See You at the Top. And the whole concept of the book is the best way to get through life is to help other people get through life. And that made a really big impact on me when I was young. And I think that is sort of just part of who I am now. And it has translated, I think, into my career in sales and marketing.
Yeah.
And that parlays right into, though, 2021 and Co. So tell us about that for those who are watching and are not familiar with your company.
Yeah, so my business partner and I own 2021 Co. We started it in late 2017. And actually, we met because I was in the printing industry selling commercial printing, and she was my client at Providence College. And we just always said, someday we're going to do something together. We had both lost brothers in tragic ways. And we really wanted to put something good out in the world that maybe just made someone's day a little bit brighter or helped someone feel seen. So she, as an incredibly talented designer, and me with my, sort of entrepreneurial spirit, we came together and built 2021 Co. And honestly, we never expected it to be a real business. We sort of just dipped our toe in and have gone on this train that we never really expected. I wouldn't say that we never wrote a business plan. We never said this is where we want to be. We just sort of got on the train together, and this is where we are.
It seems to be the common thread. I'm telling you, whenever we have somebody on who's created a business where they just went for it. You know what I mean? It's like they just kind of went for the dream.
Well, I want to know how it started then. Did you just have one concept that you started, or were you like, I have a whole bunch of ideas, I'm just going to put them all out there and let's see what kind of becomes popular? Like, how did it actually start if you didn't necessarily think it was going to become a whole big brand, which it now is?
Well, I would say that I've always been like a quote hoarder. So before we even started the business, when I was selling printing, I would do these quote cards. I would kind of find the right quote, and then my business partner, Emily, would design them, and I would mail them out to all of my customers. Just as like a very soft sales. It was just more to keep in touch with my customers. And then I would go to their offices and I would see all the quote cards on their walls. And I was like, wow, what we're doing is impactful to people in some way, and I really loved that. So when we first started, we made the decision when we designed the cards, to make sure they were emotionally impactful to people. There are lots of brands out there who are snarky or, there is a card line for every personality, for every need in the market. And ours was sort of motivational, inspirational. So that's sort of how we started. And we started with, I want to say, 32 cards.
Okay.
And they were just general, sort of uplifting messages. We didn't do wedding, we didn't do baby, we didn't do holiday. They were just generic cards sort of in that category.
Yeah.
And then when did you guys decide to like really expand and kind of like really dive into these other categories?
So I think it's sort of, I feel like the business ran us for a long time. People would come to us and say, oh, I really wish you had, a grandparent card or a sympathy card for pets, a Mother's Day card for someone who might be having a hard time during Mother's Day for whatever reason. So I'll be honest, a lot of that came from our outside community, and we sort of just went along with it. And then we really branched out into the wholesale end of things when we went to trade shows. And trade shows are just a really great opportunity for small makers like we are to meet big buyers. And that's exactly what happened.
And it seems like a lot of your, kind of like popularity is based on what you were saying of almost like this little like gap in the market of cards that people can't quite find. If you just go to a regular big box store or something like that, they're maybe a little more thoughtful or are a little more niche in a way. And I feel like that kind of has been like what you do.
For sure. We also come from our own experiences in life. There are card lines out there that are just for cancer survivors. And if you dig deep into their story, it's because either they're a survivor or their parent is a survivor. We have cards in our line. I can think of one in particular that I wrote for my mom, who was a single mom of 7, and basically the card says, thanks for being both mom and dad. Those little niche cards, they might not be bestsellers because you know, they're hitting a small market, but to those people who receive that card, it means everything. That card is going to go in their drawer and stay there forever.
Yeah, because what else are you going to give somebody if you don't feel that way? And then, of course, you sign on with, you know, superstar
Jennifer. Yeah, you got to. I was gonna say you got to talk about some of your amazing collaborations, but this is a big one for you guys.
Huge one. And honestly, sometimes I still think, how did this happen?
How did it happen?
I will tell you. Yeah, and it's really funny. When I think about business, I think it's such a combination of risk-taking, luck, and being like your authentic self, like whatever sort of you know that you're good at or whatever you want to put out in the world. And when those three things come together, I think really amazing things can happen. Yeah. And that's the case with us, all three of those things, luck for sure. We were at a trade show in New York City, and one of her people literally walked up and said, Jennifer's a huge fan of your brand. Would you ever want to collaborate with her? And I remember my business partner and I, Emily, saying, there's no way that that is really who that person said she was.
Right.
And then the following week, we got an email. We set up a Zoom call with her. She's as lovely as you might expect, and unbelievably creative and hardworking.
That's amazing.
She just did actually a post on her Instagram account.
Audrey and I were talking about this. I saw it, you know, obviously come up in my feed. I follow you, I follow her. And it was, I mean, it made me emotional to watch.
Yeah. She is so authentic and sincere in everything she does. And she had mentioned on a podcast that we did together at one point that when she was young, she always wanted to be a greeting card designer. She would save all of her money and go into, you know, the store and buy greeting cards. So when we won this greeting card award in July, which is called a Louis, and it's basically the Oscars of greeting cards.
That's
big deal.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it was one of our cards that we did together. So that night, she was texting me, did you hear yet? Did you hear yet? Because we hadn't gone to the event in Las Vegas. And finally, some of my friends in the industry who were there texted and said, you know, your Mother's Day card that you did with Jennifer won Best Mother's Day card. So I texted her, and she texted back and said, this is the coolest thing that has ever happened to me. So
and she was crying. I mean, she was crying in her video. Like, she was really emotional about it, which speaks to your brand and what you do and what you really kind of, I guess I'll say, stand for, represent, you know, however you want to say it. It really seems like it is true to who you are as a company.
Yeah, and I think paper in general is personal, right? You know, there is so much in the digital world right now, which, you know, I am all for technology. At the same time, if you you're getting married, your wedding certificate, you don't want a PDF of that, right? It's personal.
I mean, I want everything of that.
Right.
I want a PDF. I'm gonna make a poster.
But we have in our house our wedding check for was I think $10.
Yeah.
You know, for when we got it's framed in our house.
Yeah.
Like, that is something. Paper is personal. It has your DNA on it, and greeting cards are no exception to that.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to kind of have seen the growth? I mean, like you said, you never dreamed it would get to this point. You've done other collaborations too, which have been amazing. Did you ever think you would get to this point?
Absolutely not. We really didn't, and again, I think that is a little bit of the magic ingredient, is that sometimes you just have to. There's a quote, again, I think it's attributed to Martin Luther King Jr., but it says, take the first step even if you can't see the whole staircase. Or there's another version of it, I think, that is leap and the net will appear. And that is all we have done.
Yeah.
We don't really have a plan. We just sort of keep taking the next best step. What is the next best thing you can do? So sometimes when we look back, it's hard to believe where we started and where we are now, and nobody does it alone. We've had so much help in the industry. It's such a community, the people in the stationery and gift industry, and I think because we're all so different, there's not a lot of competition.
Wow.
You know, we're all...
I do love seeing when you go to these trade shows is that you're supporting all the other people. Like, you're tagging them. Like, you're a queen, you're a rock star, and I'm always like, wow, what a great community. Like, you don't find that often. People are like rooting for each other who do the same thing.
So
but like
true.
you said, everyone's different.
And buyers need us all, right? If you go into a gift shop, say Barrington Books here in Rhode Island, they have so many card lines because they have so many different kinds of customers
Yeah.
who are looking for something that speaks to them
Yeah.
or speaks to the person they're buying that card for. So yeah, there's competition between, we're all sort of like want a little piece of that pie. But what makes that pie so amazing are all of the different ingredients and all of the different makers. So it really does limit any kind of competition.
Yeah. Amazing, Nicole.
Where
I'm very
can
lucky.
people find your cards?
Here, well, online, certainly at 2021co.com, and locally here in Rhode Island, Barrington Books. You can get them at J.W. Graham. You can get them at Books on the Square and on the east side. Also, Stock Food Group on the east side. And I feel bad if I'm forgetting
You have everything on your website,
some people.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I love you to pieces. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so
This
much
was
for
so
coming.
fun.
Yeah, no, and congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
So
Thank
exciting.
you.
Love it. And stick around, too. We have more with Spotlight New England coming up.
Welcome
All right,
back
welcome
to
back to
Spotlight New England.
Spotlight
This
New
is why
England.
we love live TV, though, right? Like,
It is. It's great. This is why.
The excitement is there. Well, but you were going to grab your phone because you were going to share something with us,
I was. So I thought.
and
it'd
you're
be
still
fun.
going to share it, but you're going to make it
And
up.
I did read it, so I do know, right? But I probably will be going off the cuff a little bit. But we can have a
Yes,
chit chat.
a chit chat. Let's chit chat.
So we just had obviously Nicole on talking about like the written word and the power of the written word. So we thought it'd be kind of cool to really think about like when you're writing a letter, writing a card, what is some of like the etiquette
Yeah.
that you should put into it? Because
Yeah.
there are actually, I even saw somebody had like, and I don't know if this is universal, but the 7 C's when you're actually
that?
creating. So, and I don't know them all off the top of my head, but it was like connect, creativity, content, and it was like 7 C's that to kind
lot.
of like teach like a young.
It's a lot for a little note.
I know. Actually, yeah, you are right. But I thought, like, it'd be very cool because much like, Nicole was saying why I love her business so much is like this generation coming up is so used to technology that they need to know.
Even AI.
Even AI, right?
You
And
know,
they need
writing
to
things
know,
for you.
right, the importance of putting together a beautiful letter or like, like if Josh writes you a letter, it's
Yeah.
something that you will save forever.
Yeah, I do save all the cards that he gives me. There's not a lot of like letter writing. There might be a note here or there, but that's probably more me too, because hashtag I'm a girl.
Right.
But all the letters I definitely save, and we always write a little something in there, or he connecting with what Nicole's saying, like he'll underline things. I think that's a big kind of like guy thing.
Absolutely.
Like underline like what stuck out to them kind of
Yes.
in the card, which I like a lot. But
important.
anytime I do get a handwritten letter or note, it really does go a long way. And I do have trouble. Like I keep them in my office. I have trouble getting rid of them because it is very meaningful, whether it was an intern who was thanking me for the internship or somebody we've had on one of the shows, thanking me for the opportunity.
Yeah.
It does stick with you, and it makes me remember them.
Right, because you know that someone has taken that extra step to not only like purchase like the perfect card like we were talking about, actually drafting, even if it's like a little note,
Yeah.
putting it in an envelope, getting your address, putting a stamp on
right.
it, and then driving to like
Oh, the stamp.
I mean, there's steps into
No,
it.
there
So
is the
it
stamp.
does-
I never have stamps.
It does go a long way when you
it
actually
does.
do get that like piece of like paper or that mail sent to you.
Yeah,
it
it
does
does.
mean something.
My problem is I have terrible handwriting.
Do you?
Oh my God! So even Brendan makes fun of me for
I
it.
actually, when I've seen you, I
Josh
just
makes
knew
fun
that
of
was
me
like
for it.
chicken scratch.
That's
at your
my
desk.
real handwriting.
I thought I had like quick note
It
taking.
is. But I do love writing. Like
Yeah.
I actually do love handwriting. We've talked about this
Yeah.
before because I don't. That gadget that we both want
Yep.
because it's a handwritten thing.
Right, which I
so
love.
do like writing things down. It's just I'm the only one that can read it.
It's the only one. She can decipher. She's been a doctor. That's it. Well, thanks for joining us today on Spotlight New England, and we will see you next time.